Shalom, friends. In this week's Torah portion of Mishpatim, we read in Exodus, Va'ele ha-mishpatim asher tesim lifneihem. These are the judgments, the rulings, the statutes that you are to place before them. The Lord speaking to Moses. And as I was coming and going this morning, doing different projects and changing gloves between them, I realized that somewhere along the way I had dropped a glove. And that reminded me of a story that I read years ago about Rabbi Yisrael Salanter, who was the father of the Jewish ethical movement called Musar. And the story goes that he was traveling from Russia to Poland in the middle of the winter, the middle of the long Russian winter. And as he was stepping onto the train, he would be sitting in an unheated compartment during this journey. As he was stepping on and the train was beginning to move, he saw that he had dropped the glove and that it had fallen beneath the train. And in that moment, he looked down, he saw the glove, and he dropped his other glove, saying to himself, perhaps to the person that finds these will be useful. Now, to travel in an unheated train in the middle of a Russian winter with no gloves is something very serious indeed. But how did he come to that conclusion? Why did he drop that glove? Well, when we look at the Torah portion of Mishpatim, it has all sorts of statutes of ethical matter and legal matter dealing with everything from a Hebrew slave all the way to celebrating various feasts. And we can get lost in these and say, my goodness, why do we need to know this? The Apostle Paul tells us in 2 Corinthians 13 to test ourselves to see if we are of the faith, to examine ourselves and to realize that Messiah Yeshua, Messiah Jesus, is in us. Many years ago, I was asked my opinion about the What Would Jesus Do movement, WWJD, and my simple response was, I don't know enough. I'll have to study and consider before I give an answer. To know what Messiah would do, we do need all of this minutia. We need to look through as we consider what the Lord is commanding us, so that in that moment we will know what to do. And we will know how to respond in a way that not only glorifies God, but is a benefit to the human other who might find our glove, which I've just dropped, who might find our glove and have some use for it. It might see that this is just too much for us to consider, too much for us to contemplate, to roll through our mind. But as we take the commands of God in and we scrutinize where we are, what we have yet to yield to Him, we see that as we look at this, it's not about every detail, every jot and tittle. That's not for us to fulfill. Messiah has already done that. But it is for us to look at this matter and say, what, Lord, do I still have to learn to do to glorify You and benefit the human other? And in that, we will learn how to and when to appropriately drop the glove. Shabbat Shalom.